What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J and we are locked in. The Last of Us Season 2 is here, and it's been some years in real life, and it's also been some years, 5 years to be exact, in the show. Now, we watched Joel and Ellie go from all the way on the East Coast, all the way over to the West, because they're trying to get to Seattle and find some help while they're on the run. Now, we know Ellie has been bit and she's pretty much immune, but right now we're seeing her turn into that 19-year-old, 18-year-old where she wants to do her own thing. And Joel, well, he's just holding it down. He's a little bit removed from the game as of where we at right now. Now, before we jump into it and break down episode 1, if you like The Last of Us, you like recaps, live after shows, then you at the right channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. We on that road to 75,000 subscribers, and hopefully we don't run into any clickers because I ain't got that thing on me. But this is episode 1, the recap of The Last of Us Season 2. Start off right where we left off. Ellie's asking Joel, are you sure everything you said about the Fireflies is true? Because remember, the Fireflies were trying to bring everybody down. They had the perimeter. You had to sneak outside of the base just to get anything that you wanted to have a little bit of freedom. And Joel is telling her, yeah, I'm not lying about that. We need to go see my brother Tommy, and that's it. So when Ellie hears that, she agreed to continue this journey to go find out what's really out there in the world. At the old base, the Fireflies, they're in shambles. We see what's left of them, and it's about 5 of them, and they're hurt. They're trying to go find more Fireflies so they can regroup, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The Fireflies were just in this one local regional area, and everyone outside of that, they said, we're done with it. But this lady is saying, we need to find Joel. That's our number one priority. And once they find Joel, because they think he went to go see his brother Tommy, because they used to work over the radio together. So Tommy is the only thing that they have to go off of. So they want to find Joel, but they don't want to find him to talk. They want to find him to get rid of him. R.I.P. Ellie's in the ring. She's going against a bigger opponent. One thing we see about Ellie, she got heart. She ain't backing down. Now, she did get punched, but hey, that's a part of the game. Sometimes you're going to get boom, mother effer. But then she ends up putting him in the arm bar. She bring him down. She got him choked out. He tapping out. They like, Ellie, chill, 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 chill. She's like, nah, I was ready. So now we see older Ellie. She's about 18, 19 years old right now, and she's fit to fight. But they got to calm her down. You know, she got that extra juice. She's really fighting unfairly. She might need to be tested because she got a little bit of that zombie blood in her. Joel and Ellie, they have been settled down in this settlement, and we see that everyone is pulling their weight. While Ellie's out there fighting, some people are going through the pipes and they notice that some roots have gotten in there. So they go and talk to Joel about it because right now things aren't running how they should be. Dina comes in here and she's Ellie's friend and she's talking to Joel, and he's basically giving her a rundown of what to do with the pipes and also how to do these little circuit breakers so they won't overheat and catch things on fire. Now, I'm thinking we're going to need to pay attention to this for further on into the show. But Dina's sitting here, she starts asking him about the relationship between him and Ellie and why they don't talk and why does she hate him. And he's like, did she say that? And we find out that he's actually in therapy because remember, he pretty much adopted her and she's like a daughter to him, but now she's grown older and she's doing her own thing. Ellie and Uncle Tommy, they're out getting some shots in because one thing about the zombie apocalypse, you got to always be handy with the steel. Now she's zeroing in, she's taking some shots, and she's hitting zombies from a nice little distance. Then she's actually hitting a zombie that's walking with a little bit of a drop on it. She hits it, but it doesn't, delete it. All it does is down it. Now her and Tommy, he's loving this because Tommy is basically the head of security. And he tells her, I got to take you off a patrol for a little bit. We know how wild Ellie can get. We just seen the fight scene, and now she's enjoying shooting. So Tommy says, we got to take you off just for a while. Maybe not the whole schedule, but just for right now. One thing about Ellie, I told you she had heart, and she's not backing down. Once Tommy took her off the patrol, she's begging, put me on patrol, put me on patrol. I don't want to work the fence. The fence is a boring job. You ain't doing nothing but looking out the fence and seeing when people come. And if there's some zombies screaming, help, zombies, she wants to be on the patrol. And the patrol, they go around, and you might run into a horde. Tommy, he's like, he ends up giving in. And she tells him straight up, you know I'm just like your brother. Joel, if you think you're going to win this argument, you're definitely not. Joel is really a part of the city council at this point. He's looking over maps. He's making sure that all the numbers are right, making sure everyone is eating. But Tommy's wife is saying, we're not building fast enough. We can't house enough people. Well, it is wintertime, and right now it's going to be a little bit slower. But Joel is saying, we don't need to bring in more people. If it means our survival, then so be it. Now, Tommy ends up showing up, and he's like, what are you doing with that rifle? Were you hunting? He said, nah. There was I ain't gonna lie to you. There was some zombies out there. We had to do what we had to do. He's like, huh. Okay, interesting. What area was this? But Tommy, as we know, he's putting together a whole crew to go out there. But Joel really doesn't want people doing any exploring at this moment. Joel being in therapy, he doesn't want anyone to know about that. A lot of people, they don't want anyone to know that they're actually seeing a therapist. Well, when he goes over here, the lady's name is Gail, and he gives her a bag of weed. That's going to be the payment today. It ain't the greenest, but it is a little bit sticky. So they call that Bobby Brown, that mid. But anyway, it works. Now, he sits down, she turns on the clock, and she says it is her birthday. That's why she's drinking on the job, only on your birthday. And she wants to know what's really wrong with Joel. And he's just talking about how the relationship between him and Ellie, it ain't where he wants it to be. She's not talking to him. She's doing her own thing. So for him, he's hurt because I've been saving your life. And you saved mine too. But Gail said, you know what? I'm going to tell you what's really making me mad because you aren't telling me the truth right now, Joel. And it turns out Eugene, the man that Joel had a pow get rid of, that was her husband. And she tells Joel to his face, I hate you. I really do hate you. And Joel's like, well, we can end this session then. Dina goes and pulls up on our girl Ellie. She's in there and she's getting strapped up because they going on patrol. Now, things are a little bit interesting between these two because Dina's like, let me help you put your gear on, as if Ellie hasn't been doing this for 5 whole years. So she gets close and we're looking like, is there some chemistry here? But Ellie's like, whoa, back up. We need to go get on this patrol. There is a New Year's event that's going to be going down. And she asks Elle, are you going to be going? And Ellie's like, nah, I don't know about that. Let's just go get on this patrol. Now, when they get out there, she gets her horse and they get the rules. Hey, we just doing patrol. Stick together and pay attention to the team lead. We can see that Dina is the popular one, the outspoken one that's going to speak her mind and tell it like it is. Ellie, she's just along for the ride. Her real thrill is going on patrol. Her real thrill is taking out clickers. But we find out that Dina and her boyfriend Jesse, they kind of broke it off a little bit and they aren't really talking. Now, Ellie, as I mentioned, ain't really trying to hear none of that. She got her head on the swivel like you supposed to. Now, this is just a little foreshadowing for what's to come, but the hell with that. It looks like we see a bear up ahead. Real quick, I just have to ask you, what is a bear's rib? A barbecue. But when they pull up and they see this bear here, they see that there's a lot of clickers out here, and it took 6 of them to bring down a bear. Well, for some reason, Ellie and Dina, they got this bright idea. Let's go into the supermarket and do some recon. See if there's anybody in there. Maybe a baby. Now, the captain is saying, nah, don't do that. But Ellie, she don't listen. And we already know what we about to walk into, some BS. But Ellie and them, they climb up on the truck and they go into this supermarket to see if they can hear anything or see anything. Once they get inside, Dina's taking the lead. Now, it sounds like we got 2 of them in here. So when they get in there, you got to be very, very quiet because noise is what triggers them. They can they can hear you from a mile away. They get in here, they spot one. So what Dina tells Ellie to do is pick up the glass, toss it down the aisle, and then she'll go and take out hers. So it sounds like a good plan. We're going to see if it works. We know what Ellie wants to do. Ellie wants to get up close and personal because she took her knife before she left along with her gun and her shotgun. Ellie tosses her bottle. She goes down to her side. And what does she see? Oh, yeah, this is going to be an easy one here. She starts tiptoeing down the hallway. And then out of nowhere, Ellie just got the magical strength. She jumped about 15 feet, jumped on the back of it, got the stabbing. Yeah. All you hear. Ellie going to work. Boom, boom, boom. Dina come around like, is everything all right? Ellie was like, yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So they over here celebrating. But then Ellie done fell through the damn roof. She fell all the way down to the bottom floor. Now remember, they had to climb up the truck to get in. The floors were weak. She falls down there. She's coughing. Dina's like, "Is everything all right?" She like, "Oh shit, my back." "Yeah, everything's all right." Then she says, "Are you alone?" And she says, "Yeah, because they haven't done any recon downstairs." But let me tell you, a fall like that from at least 15 feet, oh yeah, that's tearing that back up. Ellie's down there trying to find a way out while Dina finds the stairs to get down there. As she's creeping around, she's looking at stuff. She finds a People magazine, but in the background, you can hear. And if you watch closely during this episode, as Ellie is walking through this grocery store, in the background, you'll see something run across the screen. You'll see something go down the aisles. You're like, "What? Ellie, turn around. It's behind you." But these things then got a little bit smarter. Ellie turns around. She thought she's about to shoot it with the shotgun, but out of nowhere, it tricked Ellie, knocked her down, and got to biting. I'm talking about Ellie's like, "Ow!" But Ellie pulls out that little stone, bow, bow, lays it down. She ended up getting bit. We know she's immune, but if people know that she got bit, they're going to try to get rid of her. No one knows that she's immune like that, even though we do. Once they get back to the compound, they got to sit down in front of the council and they got to explain exactly what went down because they report all of this so they know what areas that they've been in and what's going on outside the wire. Now, when they get in there, Elle says, "Nah, these things is a little bit smarter than what we're used to. It lured me in. It tricked me. It was making noises. And then I had a pow pow, lay it down." Now, Dina's just lying just to go along with whatever Ellie says. Now, the council, they don't believe Dina, but they do believe what Ellie is saying. So now everyone is just talking about what's the actual outcome that could come from this. This does sound pretty dangerous. That was some recon, but we actually got into a shootout and they disobeyed the captain. Ellie goes to her room and sterilizes her knife. And what she's doing is that bite mark, she's actually carving it out and making it a circle so it doesn't look like a bite mark. Because if people see that, they're going to start, hey, whoa, we can't have Ellie around here. She's about to turn, even though she won't because she's immune. But we don't want anyone to know that. Only Tommy, Joel, maybe Tommy's wife know what's really going on here. Joel's been trying to get back close with Ellie. He goes to her room because he let her move out to the garage. She has the whole place to herself because she didn't want to be in the house. Now, when he goes over there, we see her writing in her journal, "Barbecue, don't mess this up." He comes in, but he doesn't really know what kind of conversation to have with her. So all he does is divert, and he looks over at the guitar and says, "Oh, wow, I'll get these strings fixed for you. I'll bring them back tomorrow." Because there isn't no conversation, and it's just awkward. And this isn't his actual daughter, but they've been with each other for the last 5 years. But she just grown up and kind of separated from him. But we all know that eventually she'll come back. Right now, she's just in that teenage phase. It's time for the New Year's party. Dina's pulling up. Ellie didn't really want to go to this. I mean, who would? It's 2029, New Year's. Man, we here. I mean, there really isn't much to do. Ellie's in here drinking a little bit. Dina's having a grand old time. We know she's been drinking. Now, they got early patrol, but Dina comes over and she grabs Ellie's hand. And we've seen that this episode that they've been getting real close and the chemistry is there and it looks like more than friends. So Ellie's over there like all the guys are looking at you because they all want Dina. But she says, "Nah, they looking at you. You a threat. You pressure, Ellie. They want to be who you are, dancing with her." And then they get to kissing. I'm like, okay, Happy New Year's. Dina and Ellie, they get to kissing. We like, oh, here we go. Some old man comes over like, "What are y'all doing? This is a family event. Get a room." But then up under his breath, he calls them some dykes. She said, "What you say?" Ellie turns around and we know she got squabbles. She's getting ready to square up with them, but they inside the church house. And guess what? Joel's in here. He goes and pushes the dude down, but Ellie gets mad at him. "What are you doing? I don't need your help. I could defend myself." And he's like, "I was just looking out for you." You know what I mean? But Ellie, she storms off because her and Joel, they just ain't seeing eye to eye. Well, more of Ellie's side. At the end of the night, everyone starts to go their own separate ways. Joel went back to the house. He got the guitar. He just playing out on the porch. Ellie walks by. She doesn't say nothing to him and goes to the room. But then we noticed something. You remember that pipe that they said there was some roots in? Someone throws down their sparkler and then they zoom into the pipes. And in these pipes, we see little tentacles. We see little wires coming out. And we're like, what the hell is this? Well, it looks like the ground is communicating with all of the quote unquote monsters, and it looks like it's invading the whole settlement. They're going to have to get rid of these damn roots. All right, there we go. Episode 1, the recap of The Last of Us Season 2. Let me know what you think about this new settlement. Is this somewhere you would want to live, or would you go live with the Fireflies? And also, how is Joel and Ellie going to get past this disagreement that they had? Because we seen what happened at the end of the episode. They're going to have to team together, or it looks like everyone is going down. Let me know what you think. I'm OJ. If you like this kind of content, you like The Last of Us, you like these recaps and a little bit of jokes here and there, then hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jamie on the beat, boy.